Post Classics ready to go there. The points lead at the moment, though, is where are we looking at the points from that first round at Hampton Downs last week. Duncan Coots sits on 50 points, and Duncan Coots is starting in the whereabouts are we? I don't think we've even got him. He's not even. He's not. Yep. So there's the blank. So Jay Lawrence sits on 45 ahead of Nigel Lennox, Paul Wooten, Sean Donnelly and Vince Burrell. And in fact, the guy who was the fastest qualifier by a country mile started on pole there as well. And if you got a lazy dollar, and we were doing betting today, it would be a comfortable one at that. There's Eddie Kattenberg, like number 1 out there. And he is only doing Manfield. He's not doing ordinary.
A big crash here was it last year on the in the practice, and wrecked his bike quite well. So I don't know whether he's decided just street circuits are not for him. But
no. I understand that they want to go south, and it's a family Christmas in the Hawke's Bay.
Of course, the New Zealand Grand Prix for Post Classics is on at Ruapuna for the first time in many years.
Yeah,
so
that's
a lot of the North Islanders make the big trip.
So when was that first round down
5th and 6th, I think, in January.
Yeah. So, any radio coverage, you know?
Yes, CTAS will be doing it live, of course, with the live commentary and live footage there all weekend. So look out for that, and as they're doing Whanganui, and of course today here as well. So those follow on Facebook, Twitter, and all that sort of thing.
Oh, for God's sake!
Look at that, Jay Lawrence. Now, one of these, it's pre-89 class out there, because bike number 371. It's owned by Steve Bryan, Sherson Auto Centre from Tauranga. That's actually a pre-82 spec bike, so all kudos to Jay Lawrence. He really must have laid off the pies this week, and certainly giving Eddie Kattenberg a run for his money. Eddie's not running away with it like we'd expected to. In fact, Jay Lawrence has got a 117.1, and Eddie's got a 117.2. That is the first lap, so...
Bit of help from Steve and Tracy Bryan, of course, Woodstone Tyres, which is, I think that's where Jay still works, isn't it? Very much the, out of, where is he now? Out of Halpo, which is around the Hamilton area somewhere. Again, a class which spreads out very, very quickly. And now, what was the story again regarding Duncan Coots?
Duncan Coots failed to qualify. He had a coil wire coming off and was going to start off the back on bike 91, so he's up there in 5th place off the back on the mighty 260.
Oh, well, he is too. There we are.
All the way from Whangarei. Had some good racing last weekend, and
but still on the panel.
I'm going to put it on for the crowd because I'm starting off the back of the track, and there he is up to 5th already. Eddie Kattenberg still leads. Got a bit of a gap now. There's probably 40 to 50 metres over and above Jay Lawrence. Watch for the big Z1100 Kawasaki Z1000R of Sean Dolly there in 3rd place. Now, a bit of a meeting he didn't really want to be talking about too much last weekend. He just didn't seem to gel with the weekend, which is unusual for Sean Donnelly, a man that's been around for many, many years and used to race 600 production back in the days of Simon Closer. So plenty of experience and a beautiful presenter bike. He's sitting in 3rd place on the Kawasaki. Paul Wooten's starting to come through there on bike number 52.
Paul making a welcome return to Post Classic Racing. David Casson, I'm not too sure when David last ever raced. That's a comeback as well there too in Post Classic. For some of these guys, you can say they're almost dragging out the bikes they once raced. Now they have a class to fit.
Yeah, David Casson had a couple of crashes last weekend, but he's back in action now. I see he's now got some numbers on the side, courtesy of Marty Esau of Whanganui. He was only running the number 27 on the front. He said we didn't have a belly pan on. Even when the belly pan appeared, it wasn't until Marty was on his pit pictures today come through with the numbers. And that's David Casson out there riding, and he's sitting at the moment in 7th place ahead of John Louis on the bike 88 from the Hawke's Bay on the GSXR 1100 Suzuki. So Yamaha followed by Suzuki, followed by Kawasaki, all the mixture there at the moment in the pre-89s here. 8-lap races for the first of the pre-89 class.
Kattenberg, Lawrence and Donnelly and Sean Donnelly. Well, Sean Donnelly and Eddie Kattenberg too. A lot of miles of experience there as well there too. And if you want to go back to that many years ago when we talked about the Trinders being here, so like about 28 years ago, that's when Eddie Kattenberg was also a very top rider in the big bike, the sort of bike that he's riding right now. In fact, hugely competitive up there. With the Bob Teamies and the Robert Holdens and all that lot out of a group from Wellington.
Also saw some photos on Facebook this week of Eddie riding for Super Angel in Japan.
That's right.
As well, so he had a illustrious career. Remember his old bike transporter had Eddie's ambulance on there because he was renowned at having a few very hard crashes. Big crashes Eddie was a specialist at, but he still got back up and did it again, and now he's doing it in fine style on the Jolette Motorcycles
Well, of course,
sponsored
he's,
Yamaha FZR 1000, number one.
He's part of the family now, there, of course, and hence is Barbara, I understand, missing her first cemetery circuit in about 400 years, and she will be over there with the Kattenbergs in the Hawke's Bay celebrating Christmas. So there it is at the moment, though. We can celebrate a win, if, well, now that's a silly thing to say because the race isn't over yet, but a comfortable lead. Now, the interesting thing, we go back to the points table too for the pre-89. Duncan Coots has, as we said, a 50-point lead. Jay Lawrence will be looking, if he sits in that second place at the moment, and I wonder if Jay, an intelligent young man, is he doing his maths, because he will know full well, I'm sure he'd rather be the first one to take the checkered flag, but he will know that Eddie Kattenberg, Eddie didn't race last weekend, is only racing this weekend, won't be at Wanganui, and so therefore the points that he's picking up now is with no great moment as far as Jay is concerned. Nigel Lennox, though, sits further back there in the well down on the field, back in the just barely into the top 10 at the moment. Paul Wooten as well there too, sitting in 5th place at the moment. So off and Sean Donnelly. Sean Donnelly and Paul Wooten on equal points. So Sean Donnelly right now, in fact here we are, that's the battle between those two. In 4th and 5th at the moment, Sean ahead of Paul in that battle. Sean, the bike number 3, the big Kawasaki, as Spider mentioned, and of course Paul Wooten on the big Suzuki as well there too, the GS6R 1100 Suzuki, bike number 52 running. Eddie across the stripe, and 3 to go. I thought he was from
I'll tell you the big move out there now is Duncan Coots on bike number 191. While we were sort of busy talking about other things, he slipped through into 3rd place and passed Sean Donnelly. Now, he had a coil wire break off in the practice in the qualifying session and come off the back of the grid, so he's made his way through the field and doing a 1:13.5.
Well, the big thing now with Duncan Coots, that's an outstanding ride up there into 3rd. He'll be hunting down Jay Lawrence. There is basically the race for the championship points.
And he's a whole second quicker as well. He's a whole second quicker, so while there is only 3 laps to go, there's about, what is there? There's about a 2.0 second cap, or 2.8 seconds, so he can reel him in, and the faster he sort of reels him in.
In fact, he is reeling him in.
Yeah, he's definitely reeling him in there. I'm picking that Coots is going to come off the back of the grid, and saying that, he just run wide at Higgins. That must be the commentator's curse. He run wide, made a mistake there, got the good drive.
Just outbreak himself at Higgins, that's it. Yes.
There's the commentator's curse.
So there it is, Eddie Kattenberg, Jay Lawrence, Duncan Coots has come from right from the back of the grid. 9 to 13 there, that's not too difficult in many respects in an 8-lap race. Across the stripe goes Eddie, then we go Jay, and now we go Duncan Coots. Duncan Coots is the points leader. Jay Lawrence, well, we talked about before Jay Lawrence hanging on to that points lead. That's not going to happen because it doesn't even happen now, because Duncan Coots even in the 3rd place, if that stays the same as it is. And the fastest lap last time was round 2. So he's really on the charge, and he's the first one so far today as well to go into the 72s in the class as well, even from qualifying. So he really knows what it's all about. That would have been that is a good points lead, and it's not a rider that we've seen a lot of either, even Winter Series racing. Generally, this is the class we get to see a few of those guys, but not to be. So in fact, qualifying, as we mentioned before, didn't qualify, so had to start from the back of the grid and on the Planet Honda all the way from Whangarei, and I hope that he is enjoying his time here on the 91 bike, and also that he will be Christmasing in Wanganui as well there too, because he is also one of the 22 that is entered. Interesting, isn't it, when you look at the pre-program there, pre-89 post-classic program, brought to you incidentally by Lindsay Tate and Associates, Chartered Accountants in Wanganui, and Lindsay has been around motorcycling for a long, long time, and is that the numbers are big for the cemetery circuit. So many riders just like racing their post-classic bikes at the cemetery circuit. So
White flags out.
Travelling under the weights right now. Whereabouts is our race leader now? That's the big thing there. And travelling very, very quick. Now the big thing is, can second hold on to second, and look at that boy. Can the guy on the white bike go into the midfield? There's the blue wheels, Duncan Coots. Can he catch the guy in front of him? There it is. That's the question to ask. The guy in front is Jay Lawrence. You can't read the number. It's 371. The guy behind on the white bike with the green wheels, and that is 91 Duncan Coots. And in fact, that gap again is very, very wide, going nowhere. So into Higgins they go. Race leader Eddie Kattenberg led from pole, and was the pole setter. In fact, that doesn't surprise anybody. In fact, remarkably, a 2-second advantage. He set at the 72s, it was 74, so everybody else. So remarkable time in that pole setting. That the checkered flag awaits as they swing round Pepsi. I must get that right. The signs are all over the place. Across the stripe, Eddie Kattenberg, another win in post-classic racing. And there coming Jay Lawrence through into second place, and Duncan Coots. Big charge through the field, wasn't able to make, wasn't looking for Sean Donnelly. There we are, the big Kawasaki number 3. And that points table is not going to scare, in fact, 5 points